Hi, welcome back to Midlife Crises, the channel where you learn how to own, operate, and rent a beach house. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the property management company that I signed up with to manage the property. I live pretty far away, more than 3 hours away, so I I didn't want to go the Airbnb route. It would have been too much work, and plus with rentals, they need a lot of time and energy. And so I found there are many property management companies. I found a good reputable one. So in the beginning, this is just going through all the forms and stuff because I had to do a lot of prep work to for them to even rent it out. So in the beginning, I just this form was pretty straightforward. I just had to fill out the description of the property, how many bathrooms, bedrooms it has, where the kitchen's located, living room, all this just kind of common stuff. And then I was talking about like the renovation that's coming up, that started now, and then where the ceiling fans are, where the TVs are, and then where all the appliances are, and the dock in the back, and so they just have an idea of where it is and what they can charge. So then next was when they got me to sign this exclusive management agreement, and this was a little complicated. I had to read through it and try and understand what this is. And basically, this is a agreement between them and me. They're the agent, and they want certain things from me in order to rent the property out, and that's going to cost me some money in the future. So going through this is going through this. This is the duration of the agreement. And then so they give a rate recommendation. They give a rate once they pull in all the information about the house, and they decide how far it is from the beach, what size it is, how many bedrooms it has, and what kind of condition it's in, and then they give a recommendation of what we can charge as a weekly rental. And you can dispute it if you feel that they didn't come back with good numbers. But so then there are standard terms on during the term of the agreement, disbursement. So it works like a they keep like a P&L statement going. Any type of profit and all the expenses are minus from the profit, and then once they take out all their fees and their commission and everything, then you get the residual profit from the rentals, and they disperse that to you. The commissions, they charge a pretty hefty commission because rentals, their things are breaking, they're sending people to fix things, they're doing the advertising, they're making sure it's fully booked, doing the marketing, they're going after people that are not paying their bill, like they've rented it and then decided that they don't want to stay, or there's a no-show. All of that stuff they handle, and they charge a pretty penny, but at least for me it was over 15%. But it's negotiable, and I was able to negotiate with them, negotiate it down from what they were asking initially. Now if you have more than one house, then they charge less. Let's go down to, so they have to have security deposits. Then they talk about long-term lease. If you're not doing a weekly rental, they allow someone to stay there much longer. So their safety, they want to make sure that there's smoke detectors, all of this stuff like I'm responsible for. Emergency repairs, they want, so if something breaks, their fridge breaks or the AC breaks during the middle of the summer, they'll send someone out, and that person will, if it's more than, for me it was $500. If it's anything more than that, then I want to know what they're fixing. Otherwise, I gave them, it's up to them to just spend it on the fixes that are needed, just because they don't want to inconvenience guests. With the swimming pool, they talk about I'm responsible for making sure it's secure with all the fencing and the gates. The swimming pool has to be open throughout the summer for the guests. That same thing with hot tubs. Then we go over inherent risks, talking about bed bugs, potential damage or loss. This is basically covering them. With the housekeeping, I have to agree to a deep cleaning. I'm supposed to make sure that all the HVAC system, the refrigerators, dishwashers, oven, all the appliances are all working condition. With the linens, I can do my own service versus, or I could go with them. So but that's kind of given that fee is transferred over to the renter. The renter pays for that, so I don't have to deal with that. So then they put a keyless entry on it. That way they can get in and the renters can get in. And then they do advertising. And then down here is more legalese, protecting them, protecting me. But I had to read it and make sure that I understood it before signing it. Lead-based disclosure. And then what they do is they release an IRS Form 1099. That's how I would claim all the profit over time and claim that for tax purposes. After doing all this, they came and they gave me this rate sheet. The rate sheet tells you what they think based on the size of your house and square footage and how many bedrooms and everything and how far it is from the beach, how much we could charge per week in the off season and then in the peak season. And so they come up with this, and then you can decide whether you want to go with them or not, or negotiate it higher if you want to. This is really important. Before anything can get done, before you can even rent the property, it is required to get a structural safety inspection, and that is on the deck. That's specifically for the decks. And what they do is it happens every 3 years, and every 3 years the rules change on how secure your deck needs to be, because in the past they've had people throwing parties, and I had one incident where they had all these people get injured because the deck collapsed. They had more than 20 people or 30 people on the deck, and it fell through. And so they want to make sure that this stuff is fixed and everything. And then a structural engineer comes out, and then they go through and they check and make sure it passes. If it doesn't, then you have to get it fixed, otherwise you can't rent the property. In my case, I'm pretty lucky that the old owner had already done this, but their inspection when they were trying to sell it, they had to do some. They had to put some money into the decks to get it up to spec. I do remember that in closing. And after all of this stuff is done, you are then allowed to get this short-term rental permit. And once you are granted that through the city, then you can start renting your property. So anyway, I just wanted to go through and so it's not as easy just buying a house and saying, oh, I'm just gonna rent it. There's a ton of steps that go into that, and this is just one part. So thanks for tuning in.